going down lit, narrow stone steps into a vault underneath the church lay dozens of coffins and mummies. The mummies in the basement of St. Michan's Church in Dublin, Ireland are really only available for viewing because of a loophole in the rules of the church. St. Michan's Church has an interesting history, even without the mummies. The foundation of the church was built in 1095 to serve the ostracised Vikings who were still in Ireland after the rest had been killed or kicked out by the Wolf, Quarrelsome and other Irish forces in 1014. The church was rebuilt in 1686. As the church changed, the crypt stayed the same, slowly mummifying all that lay beneath. The basement contains limestone, making the basement particularly dry and therefore good for mummification. After a certain amount of time, the wood falls away and a well-preserved mummy comes tumbling out. This is where the loophole comes in. For though it would be inappropriate for the church to break open caskets looking for mummies, it seems like the mummies are in fact wanting to be found, for us, the tourist, like I, looking for the answers in life after death. The mummies have indeed revealed themselves. While there are caskets strewn about, and in small areas in the wall, some coffins have fallen apart and so revealing the mummy. 4 mummified corpses which have no lids under coffins and are displayed together. On the right is a woman, simply called the Unknown, and well, there isn't any information on her. The next one is known as the Thief, and is missing parts of both feet and a hand. Some say the hand was cut off as punishment. It is believed the thief later converted and became a priest or a respected man, which is why he is buried in the church. Or possibly he was never a thief at all and lost his hand some other way. On the far left lies a small woman, thought to have been known or is known as the Nun. Then we have the mummy belonging to an 800-year-old mummy called Crusader. It is believed that he was a soldier who either died in the Crusades or returned and died shortly thereafter. Once tours would let you touch the hand of the Crusader for good luck. The Crusader was quite tall for the time, 6.5 feet tall, a giant back then, and his legs have been broken and folded up underneath him to fit him into a small coffin. The crypt is said to have been visited by a young Bram Stoker, inspiring a certain morbid streak that would later serve quite well for the author. The crypt of St. Michans was vandalised in 1996 when a group of teenagers broke in and took a number of mummified bodies from their coffins. They dragged them onto the ground and seemed to be playing football with their heads. In February 2019, the crypt was broken in and desecrated. The head of the 800-year-old Crusader was stolen, the nun's body was decapitated, and another body was turned over. A man was detained and questioned in relation to the desecration and theft. The head and other bones were recovered and sent to the National Museum of Ireland for safekeeping, as they had sustained water damage during the commission of the crime. After undergoing special conservation at the National Museum in Ireland, the skull was returned to St. Michans.
The perpetrators of this vandalism, sacrilege, desecration, they have turned over some of the bodies. The body of a nun who is there for about 300 odd years. She has been pretty much trashed. Her head has been turned around the wrong way. But the worst thing is the Crusader, whose mummified body is down below. It's 800 years there, and his body has been pretty much smashed up, and his head has been severed from his neck.
In a separate area from the mummies, in another underground crypt, you'll see coffins and even a skull. As I said earlier, these coffins break down over time, natural decay, and thus revealing the mummified corpses. Some areas like this are completely darkened with no light, as these are still active vaults. Also in this area, in a separate crypt, are the most decorated and elaborate coffins I have ever seen. All aristocrats. The plain one holds the body of Lord Leitrim, a very hated man who violated young girls and evicted families from their homes. The infamous Lord Leitrim was assassinated by 3 men on the 2nd of April 1878 while en route to his Donegal estate. The men who murdered him were hailed as heroes in their town, and hence Lord Leitrim, still hated, lies in a plain coffin.